This time I'm not on mute. You see, as you can see, you get what you get what you pay for. I'm not a professional. I don't come on here looking like a brilliant athlete who's dressed up with it in his togs and ready to go out running. That's because I'm not. Not ready to go out running. I've got my half marathon on Sunday. It's now Friday morning. I've been training for approximately 16 weeks, and it's been very much an uphill, downhill roller coaster of emotions and abilities. I'll just go through why I started this. I started this because the wife's got terminal brain tumour. So I'm running the Gosport Half Marathon for brain tumour research. I have got a GoFundMe page. It's not gone too badly. It's not gone great, but it's not gone too badly. I started off and I have got a list, so I will be keeping looking down at my side just to make sure that I'm covering as much as I can. It's I'm on my tablet, so I'm sorry about the shakes. I like most people looked at the plan. I thought, well, how can I plan my training? There's hundreds of different sites and hundreds of different free plans out there. Have a look at them all. But at the end of the day, I think it's mainly up to you as far as your lifestyle is concerned. If you work 9 to 5, for instance, and you get back home and you're doing the cooking and the cleaning, and you have very little time to actually get out there and run, you're going to have to choose the plan that works best within your lifestyle. And that's the key thing, to try and make sure that you're looking at a plan and thinking, can I adjust it? Can I change it? Is it suitable for me? Is it asking too much for too long a periods, and I'm not going to be able to really give that amount of time to it? Don't choose a plan that you're not going to be able to cover too well. If you start choosing a plan that's not really in line with your abilities and time scales, then you're just going to hurt yourself, or worse still, not get prepared well enough for the big day, and then you'll end up just being injured or not completing it and feeling really down and depressed. So it is a good idea to choose the right plan. Make sure it's in line with your needs and your abilities, and then go out and do that training run. But as you go along, I went along and I found out that I used the NRC training app, and I realized that by plotting the times in my race log, which is a very good idea to have, that the distances I was running were not really increasing enough to give me confidence I could do 13 mile. So I started in late August, early September, to increase the mileage by adding 1 or 2 really big runs, 8-10 miles to my to the training, and 12.5 miles. This actually increased my abilities quite significantly. If I look at the graph, it actually started to drop quite nicely, and I wish I'd done it earlier. So do look at the amount of how the plan is actually going to progress as you go on, and think, do I need to change it? How much do I need to change it? Don't go hell for leather and start increasing your distances by 2-3 miles over a week, because you'll just injure yourself. If you're going to increase it, if you're going to add something to it, add it steadily, make it 1 mile, 2 mile extra, and then gently ease yourself into the extra miles, because believe me, the extra couple of miles suddenly become 2-3 minutes longer, and you just end up either depressed at the end of it, or worse still, you end up doing yourself an injury. I'm going to skip to something else immediately at this point, because I was one of these people. I used to walk up the stairs and feel tired at the top of the stairs, and the wife used to look at me like, you're worse than me, and she's got cancer, and I'm thinking I shouldn't be walking upstairs and feeling knackered at the top. And all my runs were basically getting about 1.5 mile in, and the second mile was 2 minutes longer, 1 minute longer than the first mile. I started taking a gel just before the training, and they always say, if you're training for less than 40 minutes, you don't need one. But this gel changed my second mile, and it changed it from being 1 minute slower to being, with the aid of breathing better, almost spot on. Up to like a couple of weeks ago, where I did 7.5 minute mile for the first and second mile, and it was instantaneous. And when I didn't take the gel, I was suddenly back to 30-40 seconds slower for the second mile. So there's definitely an idea here that my battery, my energy levels must be extremely low to start with, and that goes along with the fact that the wife has type 2 diabetes, so there's nothing carbohydrate in the house, there's nothing sugar-wise in the house. So I actually, my intake, I had a look, and it's below 100 grams per day, and the suggested level is 250. So I'm training on a flat battery, if you like. So taking gels is probably the only bit of energy that my body is getting. So make sure that you're taking some energy to start with. Take those carbs. You don't have to overdo it in training. Just make sure you've got at least the amount that you should be taking to be able to have a decent amount of energy in those legs before you start your training sessions. And I think professionals do this, and this is why when you get to the end of your training and you're looking at carb loading, sorry, my hands are shaking a bit, you'll see people saying, oh yeah, you don't need to carb load until 1 or 2 days before. That's for a professional. There was one guy, one doctor, who said, if you're a beginner, you might have to have very low, if any, energy levels in your body to start with, and actually those people may need to carb load 3 or 4 days before. And that goes with my feeling that I'm actually flat, so I needed to carb load before, and I tried it, and I think I've got my figures here. 4 days before, and I did a total change. People are saying, oh, you don't need to eat more, you need to eat differently. No, absolutely not. I ate differently and added a fair bit into that 4th day, and I came in at 371.3 carbs, and I should be on something like 700, about 700. How the hell am I going to double that? Right, so I tried yesterday, and I ate some different things and added lasagna, a bit of bread, oats, Angel Delight, yes, some chocolate, yeah. And I still only ended up with 441.9. This is the 3rd day of carb load. 3rd day of carb loading. I need to get it up to 600, at least 600, 700. Hopefully, I'm going to go out and get enough to be able to do that. But believe me, you don't believe the ones that are saying you can just swap foods, swap a protein food for a carb-loaded food. It doesn't work. You do have to eat more. You will gain weight because the fats that it stores it in are water-based. So they're actually high in water, so you will actually gain water weight. And that brings me to the benefits. You see, I've been reading the benefits, and the benefits are all, oh yeah, you'll gain 2 to 3% performance. Again, that is based on a professional who knows what they're doing. They've been eating carbs through their training. They know what their training levels are. Their training levels are almost as good as their actual race levels. It's just that during the race, they're going to have to make sure their batteries are fully charged, because it's probably a full marathon that they're doing. And their batteries will run out at some point. So they will gain 2 or 3%. It's going to be interesting running on Sunday, because I'm going to be looking at, did this carb loading really make a difference? Did making sure my battery was full actually increase my performance by 2 or 3%? Or did it, as I expect it to do, increase it by a hell of a lot more, because I'm no longer going to be stepping out depleted of energy. In fact, now, after just 2 days of slight increase of carbs, I actually can trot upstairs and I don't feel knackered at the top. It's absolutely unbelievable. The amount of energy that I've got is definitely higher than what it was. So I will be doing another live later, and probably on Monday, and we'll see what the difference it made. And I hope the beginners out there can take it on board. The other things I looked at were gels. There's lots of types of gels. Try them out. Don't try it before the run. Don't try anything new before the run. Absolutely bad idea. Knew somebody who had to wear new shoes on one of the marathons, and he came up with peeled his socks off. They were bright red, blood-soaked feet. Awful. Don't do anything new on race day. So try different gels, see which ones work for you. I think SIS work within about 30 minutes for me. High Five work within about 20 minutes. High Five's slightly better for me, taste better, work better. SIS may work better for you, but for me they don't. Breathing, I quickly went into 2-2 breathing right at the start, which is like 2 breaths, 2 strides, 1 breath in, 2 strides, 1 breath out. And I changed it to a 2 strides, 3 breaths, 2 strides for a breath in, 3 strides for a breath out. And actually it improved slightly the energy levels, so that was quite good. So try different breathing methods. It is actually remarkably easy to get used to, and you sort of forget that you're doing it differently, but it did actually come quite naturally after just a couple of weeks. Carbs, like I say, try making sure you've got some energy during the training. It's just, I wish I'd done it, because perhaps I would have known a little bit more about how good or bad I was before I went into the event, rather than waiting till now to suddenly carb up and work out whether I've got an ability to make it below 2 hours or not. Strides, that's an interesting one. I got 7 mile once, and I nearly tripped up on the curb, and I thought, oh hell, lift your knees, guy. Lifted them and ended up going from a 9-minute mile to an 8-minute mile in 3 or 4 strides. Obviously I'm looking at the log and I'm looking at the data afterwards, and it was actually quite significant. You could tell where it happened. So yeah, keep your knees up, keep that stride going, make sure you got your breathing under control and to suit you, not what other people are telling you to do. Try the gels out, see where they work, take one at different times and see, oh, that one worked about 20 minutes after, that one worked 3 minutes after. See which ones work best. Oh, that improved my running by 10 seconds per mile. That one improved mine by 3 seconds per mile. They all work differently. Do try each one and do try and see whether one works better than the other. And then when you get to the day, you're using the right one. Just wondering if I should put you there just to stop you shaking as much. See, I'm not professional. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not a professional runner. You get what you're given here, guys. And I'm not trying to hogwash you or cover up the facts. I'm trying to give you some a beginner's view to it, because I think beginners tend to get the rough side of the deal here, and it's always professionals that are on the internet telling everybody what they think, but they're only taking into account the professional. They're not taking into account the beginner. And I dare say, if you actually try finding a beginner out there on the internet doing a YouTube vlog, I could find one, and she was quite open about what she knew and didn't know. It was really good. It was a nice set of videos to watch. So carb loading, guys. The last bit I want to talk about is carb loading. Just make sure that because you've gone through now, you've increased your carbs hopefully all the way through training, and you've changed a few of the mileages out there in your plan, and you've got through to the last 4 days, and you think, right, okay, I need to get better. Don't. You don't need to get better during those last 4 days, guys, because you need to up those batteries. Make sure that the batteries are absolutely full. Even for a half marathon, a beginner, I believe, will make more out of having a full battery than what they suggest on the internet, because they're all these guys. I'm sure you've seen them on the internet, on YouTube. They all come on with their race gear on, with their shorts, their lycra, their running tops, and they look great, and they sound really professional, and they are very professional. They're not beginners, and none of them seem to ever even mention what's the difference for a beginner, guys. And I think hopefully this race will, if anything, just enable me to do another video and have you all thinking, actually, it is different for beginners, isn't it? So how different is it? And okay, 2 to 3% improvement for carb loading. Is that the same for a beginner? Let's have a look. I'm going to be running this on Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, and I hope to come back on Monday, Tuesday, and try and tell people exactly what the experience was. Hopefully I finish it. Times at the minute, they still, even if I take the gel for to improve that first mile, my times increase steadily from a first mile of 7:33, and a second mile of about 7:33, 7:40. Because I've not really taken a lot of gels after that point. They tend to go upwards by about 20 seconds per mile. If I have taken gels that have affected me in mile, let's see, mile 5, 6, and 7, and then mile 5, 6, and 7 actually don't increase by 20 seconds. They actually decrease by 2 or 3 seconds per mile for each mile. So mile 5 would be 2 seconds improvement, mile 6 would be 6, 7 seconds improvement, mile 7 about 12, 13, and then it goes back up again. So I'm going to see what it does. I'm going to report later. Hopefully you guys can subscribe. If I can get to 50 subscribers, then I can go live on YouTube rather than using the app that I'm using on my tablet, and then it won't shake as much and it won't look as crap. So hopefully I can get steadily onto my way to having 50 subscribers, just so that I can give you more content. Content tends to be, I think, will be more running based and more beginners running based, because I'm now 57. The last race I did was 13 years ago, when I did 100 minutes and 39 seconds. The chances of me ever getting back down to that now are probably about 0, but we'll see. There are people my age that can do 100 minutes. I don't see why not. I'm not I'm not fat. I'm not overweight. I've not got anything that apart from a few bad lungs from having meningitis. I'm not too bad of a fitness generally. So hopefully we'll go out there. My times are looking at about 1 hour 55, 2 hours to be honest. So based on my times, I think it comes out about 1 hour 58. So with carbs, with a full battery, with all the gels, let's see what it does, guys, because I think the guys that are on here are very, very good. They're very professional, but they are exactly that. They're not looking at the poor beginner who's looking at this totally bewildered and thinking, what the hell do I do with gels? Try them out. Try them out in your training runs. Try them out, see which one's best for you. They may give you a stomachache. They may taste so disgusting that you really can't take them again. They may taste great and you want to take more, but it'll just cause the body to store it in fats. So, let's have a look. Let's see whether you can get me to a 50 subscribers. Then I can use something other than the tablet, and I won't shake as much. And I'll be taking you on a few runs, perhaps. I'd love to take you on the run around good old Leon Solent, and we'll see what transpires on Sunday. Dreading it, yeah, probably. Excited, yeah, definitely. I may even take a few videos for you. So see you on the line, guys.